Apparently in Europe before the war, when they would announce in the synagogue the approach of the month of Elul, you could hear the dull thud of ladies fainting to the floor in the gallery at the fear and the trepidation of the approach of Rosh Hashanah, the Day of Judgment. I must say, I feel a similar trepidation when I hear those words in shul, but for a different reason. When confronted with the enormous prospect of having to turn my entire life and my emotions upside down, I go into a panic that results in total spiritual paralysis. Fear of Elul. In 1907, Robert Yerkes and John Dodson conducted one of the first experiments that illuminated a link between anxiety and performance. They saw that mice became more motivated to complete mazes when given electric shocks of increasing intensity, but only up to a point. Above a certain threshold, the mice began to hide rather than perform. They applied the idea to the human mind, and basically the idea was that our nervous system has a sweet spot of arousal. Too little, and you remain in the comfort zone, and boredom sets in, but too much, and you enter the panic zone, which causes progress to cease. My esteemed Rebbe and teacher once told me that as a young boy in Chicago, his European grandmother gave him a short talk on the day of his bar mitzvah. Admonishing him to keep the Torah, she warned him in Yiddish and said, "In der jene Welt, sie schlagen ihr mit pressten bars," which loosely translates as, "In the next world, they hit you with iron bars." Now, I'm not sure how many grandmothers give that kind of encouragement to their bar mitzvah boys nowadays. In 1600, Samuel Butler wrote, "Spare the rod and spoil the child," meaning, if you don't punish a child when they do something wrong, they'll not learn what is right. Times are a-changing. We get stressed by the mere thought that our WhatsApp isn't working. Rabbi Noach Orlowick once said that the best kind of education is to catch your children doing something right. Positive reinforcement works miracles. So this Elul, I thought that rather than thinking about all the things that I'm doing wrong and promise God last Yom Kippur that I'd never do again, I'd think about all the things I'm doing right and how good that feels. And that encourages me to try harder. So last thing at night, I go through a catalog of things that I did right in the day. For example, the first thing after opening my eyes this morning was that I said, Moda Ani. I gave thanks to God for giving me back my soul. I acknowledge that my life is a gift, not a right. And then I went to daven to pray. Well, after a large espresso, I went to pray. And then I went to learn Hashem's holy Torah. And I think to myself that by doing these things, I'm bringing myself closer to Him, which is the reason why He created me. I go through as much of the day as I can before sleep overcomes me. Now, this may not be the classic approach to Elul and to returning to God, but at least I may have achieved some Avat Hashem, some love of God, instead of just the fear of Elul.